It's amazing to think that back in 1998, 17-year-old Britney Spears erupted onto the music scene in what can only be described as a blaze of glory. Hit Me Baby One More Time became a global smash hit, reaching #1 in every country it charted in, selling 10 million copies worldwide, was the biggest selling single in the UK for 1999, and it remains one of the top 30 biggest selling singles in the UK to date. Since then, she has achieved 22 top 10 singles, 5 of which went on to #1, 6 top 10 albums, all selling over 100 million units combined, and has clearly cemented herself as one of the most successful female artists of all time, mental breakdown and all. Now with her 8th album on the horizon, her lead single, Work Bitch, has clocked up Spears' 22nd top 10 single. But how does it fare up? Well, if we're to go back to the beginning of the year, you'll remember the abortion that was Scream and Shout, the track by will.i.am that Britney featured on, and you'll remember it for the atrocity that it was. Well, Work Bitch isn't as bad as Scream and Shout, it's more tolerable, yet the song does have an air of Scream and Shout about it. Primarily the hook, where she's listing off life's desirables, aka things that the likes of you and I will almost definitely never have, like Lamborghinis, Bugattis, Maseratis and mansions, and how you should work bitch in order to acquire these things, all delivered in her annoying, unnecessary fake British accent. So yes, you, the person who works 50 hours a week at the big corporate supermarket on the checkouts, or you who moves large crates of cheap shit on forklifts in a warehouse day in day out, you too can obtain these items if only you just work bitch. Why do I imagine that this would only appeal to the self-obsessed, spoiled little shits who have no concept of what it's like to struggle being the little man or woman? The verses, if they can even be called verses, are lazy, nondescript, incomprehensible and inconsistent. The chorus is blatant in its message, but for the most part it's just her bragging about herself, how she's the master, how she brings trouble and how she's a bad bitch. So she's a bad Britney bitch. Still hammering the message from 6 years ago, I see. Also, can you tell that will.i.am was one of the co-writers of this song? You'd never be able to tell, would ya? The music, for the most part, if you can even call it music, isn't as brain-numbing as Scream and Shout, but then again, it had a very low bar to beat to begin with. The music here at least flows somewhat coherently and resembles something that won't make the majority reach for the off button on their radios. In conclusion, as we get near to the end of the year, Work Bitch is just another drop in the bucket of songs with perfunctory lyrics, barely tolerable production, and created in order to grab a quick dollar just because it's a big name delivering the song. Should this song maintain its traction in the charts and become one of the biggest selling songs of the year? I highly doubt that it'll contend for my worst songs of the year list, but it's certainly something that I'm not going to remember by the end of the month.